And hello, everyone. It's time for the next in my eating, reading, and watching column. This is actually the 37th. And I recommend you not just eat alone, that you dine solo instead. You're worth it. It's not hard to do. So, what am I eating? Well, oddly enough, salad. I know it seems I eat healthy food, and I do. But when my new doctor flagged a high cholesterol reading, he asked, "How's your diet?" Well, I was honest. I eat all the right things, and most of the wrong ones too. So I decided to eliminate some of that latter category. While a Sunday lunch might have involved something wrong, even really wrong like a frozen pizza, this time I reached for salad. Weird. Cold day too. Who eats salad? But this was good. I had a few baby arugula pieces in the fridge, so I threw them into the bowl. They were just about to get slimy, so timing was good. I'd made a little slaw of red cabbage the night before, so I added that. Then I poked around the crisper for more things. My last trip to the store, post-Dr. Convo, resulted in mini cucumbers and radishes, both Ontario grown. I chopped up a bit of each. While I'm determined to reduce my cheese intake for the cholesterol business, I have to use up what's in the fridge. So I chopped a little goat's cheese feta from my last trip to River's Edge Dairy Goat store outside Arthur, Ontario. Since then, I've checked and was relieved to learn that goat's cheese is a better choice for health with lower cholesterol. Phew. Then I dressed the whole lovely mess with something I made the previous weekend, oil and vinegar with shallot, Dijon, and a little honey. Finally, I scattered a handful of pumpkin seeds over the top. It was a really good salad. Prep time, 10 minutes. Origin, everything Ontario grown or produced, except the olive oil, which is Italian, and the rice vinegar, which was American, damn it. Cost, about $2. What's on your healthy eating list? Put it in the comments on my website, please. So what am I reading? Well, Book of Lives, a memoir of sorts by Margaret Atwood. 21 years ago, I drove to my hometown of Wingham for a fundraiser for a local women's shelter. I went because Alice Munro, Wingham's most famous and sadly now among the infamous export, introduced her fellow superstar writer, Margaret Atwood. They engaged in writerly nerdy kibitzing a bit to our delight. It was magic, even for the pre-writer version of me. Atwood talked about her formative years, including how, when she was a teen, career options were listed in a grey book. The ones listed for women were limited to teacher, nurse, and secretary. Housewife was the most likely outcome for all, of course. That grey book stuck with me, and when I stood in line to get my copy of The Edible Woman inscribed, I asked her to write, "May the grey book keep expanding." I treasure that book and that moment. Atwood has expanded that grey book for herself and for many others besides. That's why her memoir got on my must-read list as soon as it was released last year. It was on a lot of others' lists too, and I was well down the hold list at the Toronto Public Library. I was shocked when 10 days ago my name popped to the top of the list and my copy arrived. I started it this week, wanting to finish the book I was in before starting fresh with something new. I have set myself a rather ambitious target to get through all 550 pages before it's due back. I know renewal won't be an option with that lengthy wait list. Fortunately, it's pure Atwood. More kibitzing, this time with the reader. Lots of little asides and amusing quips. This book has the conversational tone of that mythical dinner party where you get to invite 5 people, dead or alive. She'd be there for me for sure. I'm at page 50 as I write this, and I'll let you know in the next column whether it holds for me. Suffice it to say, so far, I'm very glad Atwood ignored that grey book. If you've been pleased with a new release lately, make sure you add it to the comments section on my website. What am I watching? Well, The Vice. Where would I be without BritBox? The Vice came up in my feed because of my recent fixation on British police dramas from 20 years ago. At first, it contained way too many strip joint scenes, and I was questioning what the hell I was doing. But I'm not one to give up easily, despite having a remote control at hand, and so I found myself into the 4th season, caught up as I was in the interpersonal relationships among the lead characters, especially the head of the unit, Pat Chappell. In season 5, though, when Pat Chappell disappeared from the story, I gave up and moved on. I gather so did a lot of other people, as Wiki tells me that that was the last season. The program ran from 1999 to 2003, and so like all my other recent viewings, watching involved a lot of reminiscing about old phone and computer technology. Closing note, I love spotting actors who've gone on to great things and seeing them in an early role. The Vice featured a very young Meredith MacNeill in a small speaking role in one episode. MacNeill is the co-star of CBC's Small Achievable Goals and one of the ensemble in Baroness von Sketch. It was apparently her first TV role. Fun. If you've seen something good lately, make sure you add it to the comments section on my website, and thank you for watching.